And one of the things that leptin resistance disrupts is your T3 to T4 conversion. Or I'm sorry, your T4 to T3 conversion. So free T4 is your inactive thyroid hormone, and free T3 is your active. So it disrupts that conversion. And often what I see is when someone has a high reverse T3, that is actually the metabolic brake turning off your thyroid gland. And so a classic, like if I'm looking at blood markers, so high reverse T3, high insulin, high blood sugar, excess weight, PCOS, diabetes, inflammation, that's likely leptin resistance. So when I'm looking at a full thyroid panel and I am seeing a reverse T3 above about 15, I'm again automatically going leptin resistance. We need to work on the leptin piece because that's the metabolic brake on the body. And so it means you're not burning fat, you're a sugar burner, you're just burning through sugar, and it's down regulating your metabolic rate. And so not only does leptin resistance disrupt your thyroid hormone conversion, it can weaken your immune system, and it can also dysregulate your nervous system. And so this leads to lower immunity, reduced fat burning, like I said, a slower metabolic rate, like I said, and it keeps your body stuck in the state of chronic stress, this sympathetic dominance. And so when you regulate leptin, you also regulate your thyroid. So this is I was explaining this the other night when I was doing a talk, is hormones don't, and you've heard me say this before, hormones do not work in isolation. So if you've got an adrenal issue, you've likely got a thyroid issue. If you've got a thyroid issue, you've likely got an adrenal issue. If you've got a thyroid issue, you've got a leptin issue, right? If you've got an adrenal issue, you've got a leptin issue. So they don't work in isolation. So on one side, there's a lot that are negatively impacted. On the other side of that, it means that when you positively impact one, so regulate leptin, you regulate your thyroid, you positively impact the others, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing, okay? So this was honestly something really, really challenging for me to grasp, is that weight loss is really all about the relationship between cortisol and leptin. And when you work on those things, then your body starts to go, okay, this is safe. I can let go of this. And you really start to shift things. And so I've talked about the nervous system a little bit. I've talked about, bringing like the somatic work that I do with the nervous system and creating a felt sense of safety in your body. And those are the tools that I'm giving my clients. And the part that most people miss, or the part that most people don't realize, is that your body doesn't store weight to work against you. Your body's not like, I'm just going to do this to punish you. It stores weight when it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe enough to burn. It doesn't feel safe enough to release. It doesn't feel safe enough to trust that more energy is coming in. That's huge. And that goes back to the conversation around blood sugar and, skipping meals and over fasting and all of these things, is your body needs to feel safe enough to trust that more energy is coming. And so what often looks like resistance, what we interpret or label as resistant, like my body is weight loss resistance, it's often protection. And that's a really, really important thing to hear.